I can't.
I
can't.
I guarantee it.
Calm down. Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
They probably gonna get you f***ed up.
Because Lamont Roach can fight, and he thinks he's going to see the better Gervonta Davis, come out this time. I certainly hope we do.
Gervonta Davis made a bold statement ahead of his rematch with Lamont Roach. He's confidently predicting a dominant performance. Shutting down any talk of an upset, Davis reportedly placed a $5 million wager on scoring a knockout, signaling just how certain he is of victory. He dismissed public speculation in Roach's favor, making it clear he sees no real threat in the upcoming bout.
Beat his ass.
He can't do shit. I don't give a f***.
Man, be quiet.
I don't give a f***. Y'all was quiet. If y'all was loud.
We got the whole hood over there. Like, twist it up. I don't give a f*** about none of that.
I can do whatever y'all want. My mother, he can't stop nothing over here.
None of that.
Not at all.
I'm telling you, I'm going to f*** him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing's going to get f***ed up over here. What do I look like getting f***ed up?
Okay.
That shit ain't never gonna stop nothing over here.
And he gonna pay for it. I guarantee he pay for it.
I can't.
I guarantee it.
Calm down. Calm down, brother.
Come to the fight. Come to the fight.
They probably gonna get you f***ed up. Look, fool. Hey, fool. This me and you, fool. This me and you, fool.
Tank.
It's me and you, fool.
Yeah.
Don't worry about them. They might get you. They gonna trick you out your spot. They gonna trick you out your spot, fool. Don't worry about them.
Come on, stop. Y'all know what's going on. Y'all know how I'm coming. Y'all know how I'm coming. So stop it. Y'all gonna make it hard for him. That's what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna make it hard for him.
The buzz around this rematch has drawn comparisons to Floyd Mayweather's initial showdown with Marcos Maidana. In their first meeting, Maidana controlled much of the fight, leaving many to believe he'd take the rematch as well. But Mayweather came back with adjustments and cruised to a clear victory in the second bout. A similar storyline could emerge. Between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, Roach appeared to have the upper hand in their first clash, swaying public opinion. However, the perfect opportunity to fix past mistakes and rewrite the narrative.
YouTube, we're back again with some more boxing news in the boxing world. Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach for the rematch is on the horizon. It will be happening this year, and it will be happening very, very soon. This is the thing, YouTube. If y'all agree with me on what I'm about to tell y'all, I want y'all to throw the thumbs up, because this is what's gonna happen. If y'all remember the Mayweather and Maidana match, where everybody thought Maidana beat Mayweather in the first match when they fought each other, like he dominated him, he beat him. Same thing goes here. Lamont Roach, everybody's saying that he dominated Gervonta Davis, but this is not going to happen in the rematch. Gervonta Davis is going to dominate Lamont Roach. If y'all agree with me on what I'm telling y'all, this is just like the Mayweather-Maidana fight. I'm trying to tell you. Lamont Roach is going to lose in the rematch, and that's a guarantee. That's not a prediction. That is a spoiler. If y'all agree with me, throw a thumbs up. And if you ain't got Eat Up Keeps the News, subscribe.
Following the controversial result of their first meeting, Gervonta Davis overhauled his training camp. He brought in a new coach to sharpen his skills and instill a renewed sense of discipline. This move wasn't just tactical, it was deeply personal, aimed at cutting out distractions and channeling complete focus into his preparation. Determined to correct the mistakes that gave Roach momentum, Davis has embraced fresh training methods, signaling his intent to come back not just to compete, but to redeem himself. His camp has been intense, covering every possible scenario that might unfold in the rematch.
Yo, what's going on, fight fans? Check it out. It looks like Gervonta Davis has a new coach. Now, this is Coach Mustafa. He's a well-known coach down in the Atlanta area, and it looks like he's starting to train with him. I know he has that upcoming rematch coming up. It looks like it's slated for the June. Now, this coach is known for his working on timing, precision, accuracy. Those are some of the things that this coach is well known for. He's also been training Tevin Farmer for his past 2 fights. Now, what does this mean for Tank? Is he leaving Coach Kyle and Coach Kenny, or adding Coach Mustafa to the team? Is it smart to switch trainers so close to a fight? Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below.
This isn't just any fight, it's arguably the most talked about rematch of the year. Lamont Roach stands out as one of the few fighters who has truly tested Gervonta Davis in recent memory. Their first encounter left fans wondering Was Roach simply fortunate, or does he genuinely have the edge? The upcoming rematch aims to provide those answers. Fans are eager to see if Roach can replicate, or even surpass his previous showing, or if Davis will reclaim his position of dominance. With reputation, legacy, and pride all on the line, both fighters understand just how much is at stake.
Promoter Gary Jonas shed some light on the negotiations for the rematch. While he didn't give too many details, Jonas did say that the second bout between Davis and Roach Jr. is all but finalized. Let's hear what he got to say right now.
Important question on everyone's mind: how close is the rematch? How big will it be? How close is it to getting done?
Very close. It's in my mind, it's a done deal, but there are formalities, but it's a done deal, and it's not far off.
Lamont Roach approaches the fight with humility, faith, and unwavering determination. Unlike the typical pre-fight bravado, Roach keeps a calm and grounded presence. He lets his dedication and hard work do the talking, putting full trust in his training and preparation. Guided by a strong sense of purpose, his mindset has stayed steady, even as the pressure and spotlight have intensified. This mental resilience has been key to overcoming obstacles and reaching the elite level he's at today. Roach is prepared not only physically, but also mentally and spiritually for what lies ahead.
Who am I here with today? Lamont Roach Jr. I don't know who you are, man. What do you do for a living? Man, I box. How long have you been boxing for? I've been boxing since I was 9 years old, so 20 years. How old were you when you made your first million? I was 29. You made some money. What's the best piece of advice about money you've received throughout your career? Save that money gonna save you. Has there ever been one experience where you spent too much money than you thought you should have, that you regret? That I regret? No, but there's been a lot of times where I shouldn't have spent as much money as I did. Is there one piece of advice that now that you've been boxing for a couple of years, you could tell your younger self about boxing? My advice to my younger self would be keep going. You're gonna end up exactly where you're supposed to be at. As long as you work hard, put your faith in God, and you just keep pushing. What made you really stand out as a boxer? My hard work, determination to be the best. Is there one boxer that you think inspires you the most with your play style? I take bits and pieces from all boxers, even some of my opponents and stuff like that. Anyone specifically? No, not necessarily. What keeps you motivated to keep pushing hard still? It's definitely hard for me to give up because I know what's at stake. I know what can happen. I know what can happen with hard work. But if I ever feel like giving up, my motivation will be my son, my family, the ones who behind me 100%. They've been down at the bottom with me, so they coming up top with me. Where can they find you on social media, man? 1of1X. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, bro.
Trash talk may be heating up, but at the end of the day, words don't count once the bell sounds. The rematch is where true abilities are put on display, and reputations are either solidified or shattered. All the social media debates and pre-fight interviews will fade away once the action starts. This fight will deliver the definitive answer. Fans, critics, and teams can have their opinions, but ultimately, what really matters is what unfolds inside the ring. When the dust settles, the better fighter will stand unmistakably clear for all to see.
I just want to know, when is the rematch going to happen at this point? Because I'm not going to lie, for it to be a whole month later and y'all still arguing over who actually won, it's just really like, okay, yeah, run it back, because we got to go ahead and settle this, squabble this up. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to say neither fighter in here is shitty, okay? Because after the fight I seen on March 1st, yeah, they both was tagging shit, both getting up with each other, okay? I feel like this is the perfect match. If anybody's gonna do a rematch, we need to be down, period. And Gervonta was stinging him. I'm not gonna lie, he was stinging him. Great fight for him. But I'm not gonna lie, he came out knowing what he was trying to do. Y'all have to give it to him. Like, y'all just be hating, okay? Y'all can't get in the ring and fucking fight. Y'all just be hating. At least I'm giving him no day props, okay? Because Gervonta had a great fight. Don't get me wrong. My money was on him. But I think what messed him up was the fact that when he came out, y'all know he usually be 2 steps ahead. He was 3 steps ahead. I feel like he already had Tank figured out. And he definitely was not expecting that. And him, on the other hand, I think he came in really having something to prove. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Like, it was a really good fight, and I feel like this is how I see it. In the beginning of the fight, he was stinking, back to back, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of the fight, that's when he finally kicked it up. But I seen consistency through him through the whole fight. I'm not gonna lie, like, so I just feel like the rematch should happen because never know. He might, now that he was 3 steps ahead, become 8 steps ahead, and he might really knock his butt down. But at the end of the day, it's like, we need this rematch because I don't think this is ever gonna be a dispute that is settled and, you know, officially he won, he lost until they fight. Like, we gotta see it.
After facing skepticism and criticism, Gervonta Davis is stepping into the ring with something to prove. Doubts about his focus, determination, and sharpness have only fueled his drive. He's been training relentlessly, aiming not just to win, but to dominate and to shut down any talk that he's past his prime. Aware that critics look for any sign of weakness, Davis is working hard to close every gap that Roach previously exploited. His camp is marked by intensity, precision, and discipline. For Davis, this fight is about more than just a victory. It's about making a powerful statement.
Everybody really think Tank go take the L. I've been seeing it. They said it's over. They think that this time Lamont go in more confident, knowing that basically he can, really take it to Tank. Yeah, I want him to go in there confident. He's very skilled. Go in there confident because you gonna go up against a different Tank. Like I told y'all in previous videos, he go in there confident, thinking he could walk Tank down. Don't forget, with Tank, if he get you on that button, them lights going off. I don't care who you is. Remember how it ended up with Frank Martin? So yeah, don't go in there thinking that you going against like somebody that, like Ryan Garcia, somebody that's gonna fold. You're going against Gervonta Tank Davis. And I think that confidence is what's gonna get Lamont dropped. Because one thing I will say, with Tank, that wasn't your best fight against Lamont, bro. I feel like you was in your head too much. You was overconfident, and you was really just, your mind was in y'all story, the lore and everything with y'all history. You ain't going there like I'm fighting a stranger. You going there like, oh, this Lamont, this from the same camp, we from the same area. But now I think that whole situation woke him up, because you got to think, Tank not used to losing. He not used to people being against him. He not used to being the one that like got to step back from a situation. That's why I think he being hushed right now, because when he come this time, it ain't no talking. And that's why I think it's scary, because we never see Tank in that mode where he don't say a word. I think this gonna be a different Tank. And what's crazy is Tank used to be like that in the beginning, like when he was with Floyd. Like, I'm talking about Tank with the fade, with the waves, bro. He ain't used to be on that showboat and stuff until he got, like, a little bit more in the boxing, thing. Of course, once you with Floyd, you gonna start being flashy and doing backflips off the ring. But in his beginning stages, dude wasn't playing. He was dropping I think that's what he about to go to, bro. And we know that people like, man, did he take Calvin off his team? Nah, like he said, Calvin, his boy. I think he's just rocking with somebody else right now to get him some sharper skills, to change up his skill and what people know him by. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I think Tank go take it to Lamont. And that's not me being biased. I think we ain't ever seen Tank like this.
Lamont Roach has demonstrated unwavering discipline and focus leading up to this rematch. He fully understands the significance of the moment and the threat Davis still represents. Unlike others who might rest on a previous success, Roach is approaching this fight as a fresh challenge. He remains cautious, studying Davis's improvements, adapting his strategy, and preparing for all scenarios. This level of awareness shows the maturity of a fighter who is not just skilled but mentally exceptional. Meanwhile, Keshin Davis offered a viewpoint that many fans might not have considered questioning. Gervonta's passion for boxing and suggesting that his hunger could be waning. In contrast, Roach appears more motivated than ever. This potential mental edge could be pivotal in the rematch. Keshin hinted that the emotional investment between the two fighters might be uneven. And in a sport where drive fuels victory, that difference matters. If Gervonta has any doubts or a fading passion, it could give Roach a significant psychological advantage. The dynamic between one fighter reaching a new peak and the other possibly plateauing adds an extra layer of intrigue and unpredictability to the bout.
Do you think he wins that rematch with Lamont Roach?
I don't know, honestly. I really don't know. It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50 fight. I don't know, honestly. I really don't know.
Does a lot of it hinge on Gervonta and like which version he shows up with? And no disrespect to Roach, but you know what I mean.
No, that is disrespect for the Roach, and like y'all fight fans gotta realize that is disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, he in there fighting another grown man that ain't going for none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think Roach is gonna come with another game plan or something better or this, that, and third? So when they had a rematch, are y'all still gonna say, oh, Take's still not his full self ever since he fought whatever? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, like, Roach is a hell of a fighter. He proved he was a hell of a fighter, so he need to get that credit. He's a hell of a fighter. I don't know who's gonna win that rematch. I honestly feel like Tank is losing love for the sport, or he lost the love for the sport, and he's no longer hungry anymore.
Well, that's what I was getting at.
Yet you got a guy that's just super hungry and never had no attention, now getting all his attention, and now he get around 2 of this attention. Is like, shit, that's kind of hard to beat. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Tank is he's still a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's 50-50. And to your point, we were saying, okay, he lost love of the sport. I don't really think Canelo got the same love he had for the sport when he was coming up.
Gervonta Davis has enlisted the help of Kenny Ellis, a highly respected figure in the training world, to refine every aspect of his preparation. Ellis is known for his disciplined routines, meticulous attention to detail, and focus on mental readiness. Under Ellis's guidance, Davis is fixing technical weaknesses, boosting his endurance, and strengthening his mental game. This partnership isn't just about physical training, it's about sharpening Davis's ring IQ and strategic thinking. Their strong working relationship could be the catalyst for Davis to reclaim his dominance. This revamped Davis is more balanced, better organized, and deadlier than before.
He's one of the best trainers in boxing, second guy in the corner. Is responsible for a lot of the real tactical decisions and tactical analysis that goes on in Gervonta Davis's corner. So you have Coach Calvin, and Coach Calvin is the head trainer, and you have Coach Kenny, who really specializes on preparing game plans specifically for opponents. So to have him talk about what's going on with Lamont Roach, I thought was interesting and insightful, because what he said was that, one, he's not falling for the okie doke. When Mill City asked him, hey, what do you think about the fact that, that Lamont Roach was seen at a basketball game chugging a beer? And I would have added to the question that you see Lamont Roach out giving a bunch of interviews, doing the interview circuit, right? Kind of being a little bit out of character leading into the rematch. Do you think, and this is what Mill City asked, do you think that is something you guys are taking in consideration in preparation for the fight? And what Kenny Ellis said was, look, man, we're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We know what Lamont Roach brings to the table, and he says that Lamont Roach is we're not believing that he's out there drinking or blowing up a bunch of weight and all of that. He says what most people say, hey, we're going to prepare for the best version of Lamont Roach that is going to, that'll come for us. But the way that he saw the fight coming out was he said he sees it like the fight before, a lot of really crisp shots landing.
In their first encounter, Davis revealed some unexpected weaknesses. He seemed slow to react. His energy dipped early, and Roach capitalized by controlling the pace. That version of Davis looked unprepared, both physically and mentally. The upcoming rematch gives him Davis has truly addressed those issues. During the initial rounds of the first fight, Davis showcased his sharp combinations, solid movement, and well-timed power. Analysts like Ennis believe these early moments confirm Davis's skill remains intact. He just needs to maintain it throughout the fight. The rematch offers the perfect stage for Davis to deliver a consistent, dominant performance from beginning to end. If he can keep up that early intensity, Roach will face a very different challenge.
Draw with Lamont Roach. People looking at it as controversial because of the whole knee. What'd you think of the fight?
It was a great fight. I had it 7-5 Tank, or you can make it the draw. But I feel like Lamont, he did good. He did a great job, actually. I just don't think he did enough to pull it off. And I feel like people was overlooking what Tank was doing in the first 5-6 rounds. He was boxing and frustrating him a little bit. But Lamont, like I said before, Lamont did a great job.
Yeah, some people had it Tank, some people had it draw, some people had it Lamont. Do you think Tank gets a lot of criticism for not knocking Lamont out and Lamont not being a big name, so they overblow it?
I think so, yeah. And I feel like people just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing, just because he ain't knock him out, he probably feel as though that he lost, and he didn't, or it was a draw. I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still like frustrating him and things like that. And I think Tank did a good job. Like, he looked sharp to me. I don't know. People just be talking. At the end of the day, you can't please everybody.
Were you surprised that Lamont was in spots winning the exchanges and kind of caught Tank with some good shots that he visibly like, yo, I got to reset?
Veteran trainer Teddy Atlas has pointed out that Davis's threat goes beyond. It's just his power, it's his ring intelligence that sets him apart. Davis doesn't rush in. Instead, he watches, calculates, and then strikes with precision. His ability to adapt his strategy as the fight unfolds makes him highly unpredictable. Atlas believes that this kind of flexibility could be the deciding factor that swings the rematch in Davis's favor.
He's going to try to get to us, but we're going to frustrate him. He doesn't get frustrated. He takes his time. He's deliberate. A lot of times at the beginning, people thought he was just a seek and destroy missile. They thought he was just a guy that got to you. And they thought that he would get over anxious. He don't get over anxious. He takes his time. He slowly closes those gaps, inch by inch, step by step, and then he gets to you.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates. Until next time.